All right, what's up, Rye?
Hey, what's up?
Not much, man. Hey, so another NFL honors is in the books. Man, what a show it was, especially with Steve Harvey, huh?
Yeah, I love Steve Harvey, man. He seems like he's everywhere. He hosts so many shows, obviously known for Family Feud. So yeah, he's a really funny guy. He did a really good job.
A lot to talk about in just a little bit of time. I know it's way past my bedtime already, man, so I got to get to bed.
Yeah, I know.
All right, so hey, I appreciate you joining me tonight so we can go over some of the top headlines from this year's to the top takeaways from the NFL honors. Before we get started, hey, I just want to give a shout out to Austin. I heard from him earlier today. He's doing fine. For you guys that have been watching us and staying up to date with us since this show has started back in August. Austin is our main guy. I like to call him the producer. He had a couple of things come up where he'll be off for a while. I'm guessing maybe a month or two. So stay tuned, guys. We're going to be on Zoom here for a while, bringing you videos like this until we can get the cameramen back in here and get the camera set back up for an actual episodes of you and I at the round table. So just wanted to shout out to Austin and say hi, that all of his hard work never goes unnoticed, Ryan, and that we're thinking about him and that he's in our prayers.
Yeah, for sure. He does pretty much all the editing. So we really can't thank him enough, and for sure keep him in our prayers. And he does so much behind the scenes work. We really can't thank him enough.
All right. With that said, I just want to hit on a couple of things before we get right down into the NFL honors. I promise I'm going to be quick. I talk about an emotional opening, Ryan. I mean, you were right at the end of our first official episode when you and I previewed the Super Bowl earlier last week or this past week. Um, you were right there at the end. I was watching our episode over, and you said that about you mentioned a comment about how the league did so well getting through during this pandemic year, something that we'd never seen before. But talk about the beginning, man. It was emotional for me just to see, um, just be thankful, man. I know it sounds kind of tacky. I don't know what the word is, but just be thankful that we're sitting here. We can witness another Super Bowl tomorrow. Man, it's a blessing to be sitting here alive, man. When you really think about it, and everything that we've been through this past year in 2020.
Yeah, it really is amazing what not only what the NFL has done, but all of the major sports leagues. It's been incredible, and even the NCAA for what all the major sports organizations and leagues have been able to do throughout this whole pandemic, and it's just amazing that sports have been able to go on safely, as safely as possible. And I'm so glad we're gonna be able to watch another Super Bowl tomorrow.
Yeah, again, so many things. Again, so many lives lost. Guys, we want you to reach out to us. We want to start hearing from you all more. Definitely, bad times in 2020, and I can't wait to react with different people on the show. I already got a couple emails. I know that you saw them on our we like to call it our mailbox, our email. So I know we'll do our best to try to get out, reach out to you all as quickly as possible. But it's amazing, man. I can't wait to meet the some of these people that are starting to interact with us and get to know the new faces.
Yeah, and once the pandemic is settled down or completely over with, hopefully we'll be able to give back to some and help a lot of people out, give back to the community. I know me and you both are really big about giving back.
We're here for him, man. We're here for y'all. And but look, man. So getting back to it, man. The Browns making the play. As hard as for me to say it, the Browns making the playoffs for the first time in 18 years. So many unpredictable events happening this year that we never thought um, that we would witness, Ryan. So again, a true blessing to be able to witness this 2020 league year. But again, another NFL honors presented by Invisalign just ended at 11 Eastern time. We're coming to you about 15 minutes after the ending of that. Steve Harvey again did an incredible job hosting that. I guess you want to take anything away from his comments? I guess he's not a. It's easy to tell he's not a Patriots fan.
Yeah, he's a Browns fan, so I think he was really happy that the Patriots were not in the playoffs and the Browns made it.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. So all right, so Ryan, I know that we discussed. So you were going to go ahead and shout out to all of your award or not nominees, your award winners now. So I'll let you start.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and kick it off with the awards. First up, Offensive Rookie of the Year, Justin Herbert. He started every game but one this season. He set the record for the most passing touchdowns, 31, most completions with 396 in a rookie season. I think this award could have gone to either Herbert or the Vikings wide receiver, Justin Jefferson. Jefferson had a Randy Moss type season for the Vikings in just his rookie year. But I think quarterbacks get the edge in a lot of these awards just because they're mostly the focal point and the leader of the offense. But Herbert had a great first season. He's very deserving of the award.
Yeah. Again, like you say, I think the quarterbacks get a lot of the edges when you talk about the edge when it comes to any of these awards. But yeah, what Justin Herbert did this year, I think he was underrated. Actually, if you want to ask me, coming out of the draft, out of Oregon, 31 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions. Again, he set the record for most touchdowns by a rookie. So shout out to Justin Herbert and congratulations to him. How about the defensive rookie of the year?
Yeah, defensive rookie of the year, Chase Young, second pick in the draft, came into the season as a favorite, and he won it. Chase Young, future superstar in the league. Defensive player of the year, Aaron Donald. This is the third time Donald's won the Defensive Player of the Year award. Only 3 players in NFL history have won Defensive Player of the Year 3 times. Lawrence Taylor, J.J. Watt, and now Aaron Donald. So that's an incredible accomplishment for Donald. Donald, just an absolute beast, absolute tank on the defensive line. He's like a bowling ball coming through that offensive line.
So wait, so the defensive rookie of the year, Chase Young, and then you mentioned the defensive player of the year was Aaron Donald.
Right.
Okay, yeah. I don't know, man. So TJ Watt had 15 sacks. When I look at nominees in the defensive player of the year award category, when I look at them, I consider sacks. So, I mean, to me, that's always been the main category, the main thing that I look at on the line on the stat sheet. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, congratulations, Aaron Donald. Obviously, he's a one-man wrecking crew. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
he can come at you in so many different angles and ways on that line. If you're an offensive guard or offensive lineman, man, I'd be pretty scared lining up against Donald. But yeah, I mean, it could have. TJ Watt led the league with 15 sacks. So in my opinion, TJ Watt was a strong candidate, and I was fooled out by this award. I think it was kind of actually a snub. No disrespect to Donald, but I think Pittsburgh fans have a reason to be upset.
Yeah, I think this was probably the closest award out of all of them, and it went to Aaron Donald. But yeah, TJ Watt had a great season as well. It probably could have went either way. Next up, Offensive Player of the Year, Derrick Henry, also known as King Henry, gets crowned this award. Well deserved after a 2,000-yard rushing season, led the Titans to the playoffs once again. Next up, Coach of the Year, Kevin Stefanski. He led Cleveland, like you mentioned, to the playoffs for the first time since 2002, 18 years.
Yeah, going back to King Henry, yeah, I'm not shocked. And that was the Offensive Player of the Year, correct?
Yeah, right.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't shocked. When towards the end of the season, I forgot to look it up before we came on, but towards the end of the season, I was even hearing rumors considering Derrick Henry to be the most valuable player. And I know you get to that in a second, who won that award, but I was hearing rumors about, and that's how good of a year that he was having, although it came up short in the wild card round when they lost to Baltimore. But I was hearing rumors if he was going to start carrying this Tennessee team into maybe even the conference championship again or the Super Bowl. I was starting to hear rumors because obviously the MVP usually goes to the quarterback, but I don't know about you, but I think it would have been very well deserving if he didn't trip up in the wild card round, and if the Tennessee Titans would have made it to the AFC title game or the Super Bowl. I think that I may have highly considered Derrick Henry as the MVP.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. You know, Derrick Henry with all those crazy stiff arms, just shoving people aside. Probably one of the hardest players to tackle in the whole
Yeah.
league.
Yep.
Derrick Henry is just an absolute tank,
Yep.
running back. The next award was Comeback Player of the Year, Alex Smith. This was probably one of the most obvious award winners. The resilience he showed after 17 surgeries. He almost lost his leg. It's just an inspiring story for
His
everybody.
life. Talk about his leg. He almost lost his life.
Yeah, his life. He went 5-1 as a starter and led Washington to the playoffs. This comeback story will certainly never be forgotten.
It won't. I mean, that's definitely that's a great comment, and I'm glad you brought that up because I remember when they had an ESPN cover story out of him, and oh boy, I mean, talk about love for a game, passion for a game. I bet if you go to the NFL right now, and not wishing, now, obviously, we don't want to wish injuries on anybody, but I'm just saying, if you go to the NFL right now, it's hard for me to imagine more than half of these guys. I mean, yes, they have love for the game, but take any of these guys in the league now, and if you match them up and line them up and ask each player, individual by individual, hey, if you suffered an injury this bad like Alex Smith, do you think that you would be able to rehab? And do you think you would have the nerve, the strength, the ability, the mental toughness to come back and play football again? I don't know, Ryan. I mean, I'm not saying these guys aren't already tough, but it's hard for me to imagine a lot of guys are as mentally tough as Alex Smith.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that he actually came back and not only battled through all of the surgery and the resilience, just everything that he battled to get even to that sideline on
Well,
Washington sideline.
exactly. And how about shout out to his wife? I saw in the ESPN article, the cover story that I just brought up, with the pins and the needles and stuff in his legs. I mean, she had to basically step up for him and talk about a heck of a wife, huh? I mean, she was incredible and took great care of him during his rehabilitation and his time off.
Yeah, it was an amazing moment when Washington's starting quarterback went down and Alex Smith came into the game and finished out the rest of that game. That was one of the best moments of the
And not only you mentioned he came back, the comeback player of the year of the NFL, but how about not only did he come back, he led the team to a division title.
Yeah, just an incredible story.
All right, go ahead with the next.
Yeah, play of the year, the Hail Murray. Kyler Murray throwing it up to DeAndre Hopkins. I know he did an episode.
There you go. Yep.
And I
Yeah.
said it was gonna be his Hail Murray play, and I got it right. But
You were right. I'll get you next time. That's all right. We'll have some hot debates down the road. I'll get you next time, bud. I know you had the edge over me this time, but I got you. I had to get a good payback on you.
yeah,
I
Kyler
still
Murray,
say my man CD Lamb. I'm sticking with CD Lamb.
yeah, Kyler Murray. He was an MVP in the MVP conversation for earlier in the year for a couple weeks, but they kind of fell off at the end of the season there. But just an incredible play. DeAndre Hopkins catching it over three people for the win. The next award, of course, the most valuable player of the league, Aaron Rodgers. This one was another obvious one. Third time he's won the award. Just an incredible season for Rodgers, leading the Packers to the first seed. Unfortunately, they came up short there in the championship game against the Bucs, but I believe Rodgers is 37 years old, just probably one of his best seasons. Even though he's 37 years old, just an incredible season from Rodgers.
He is the I saw he was the sixth player, the sixth player to win the award 3 times. So he's joining some elite company. It's hard to believe if he does it again. I wouldn't be surprised, but if he does do it again, he's going to really put himself up there in elite company. I mean, he already is in elite company, but yeah,
Yeah.
he's the sixth player in league history to win that award 3 times.
Yeah, and the last award given out, Walter Payton Man of the Year, Russell Wilson, well deserving of this award. One of the best men in the NFL. Russell Wilson does so much for not only the community, but for his community around Seattle, but really just everywhere throughout the whole world, reaching out to helping kids in need. Just an incredible man.
He is, and we talk about helping people, man, and he's the true definition of helping people, like you just said. And how many times after we just witnessed Ravens Calais Campbell handing the award off to Seahawks Russell Westbrook, and how many times did he say the word love? I think that was very important because at times like this that we're in now, take sports out of it, take athletes out of it. Love is the answer.
Yeah, he really did give it a good speech, and he talked about his dad, how he wishes his dad was here to watch him win this award, and that speech hit really hard to me. Yeah, he talked about love throughout the speech, and a really empowering speech that really can inspire a lot of people to get out and help their community, help people in need. Russell Wilson, very, very deserving of this award.
All right, Ryan, on to the Hall of Fame class, and then we'll wrap it up for the night. If you want to cut me off anytime, feel free to. If you round up the Hall of Fame class of 2021, I've always said that as we move on, you and I get older, that it's first of all, it's very moving. I was moved every year. It never gets old to see these men get the famous knock on the door, and be informed that they are going, in fact, into the Hall of Fame. But I've always said to you, as we get older, it will get more exciting, especially for our generation, because think about growing up, we didn't actually remember a lot of these players playing on the football field. But now, as we're getting older, we're starting to remember, oh, hey, I was a little kid when he used to play. Oh,
Yeah.
hey, I was 20 years old when he used to play football. So now for you and I and our generation, it's even starting to get more exciting now, because these guys that are going in to the Hall in Canton, Ohio, we're actually starting to remember them and the accomplishments they had on and off of the field, right?
Yeah, and I love watching during the NFL honors ceremony. The I guess the head of the award giving for the Hall of Fame class, showing up at their homes and
David, I think Baker.
Yeah, breaking the news to them. That's a really special moment to do it in front of their families and their kids. That's a really special moment for them.
That's right. Yeah, it's David Baker, the president and CEO of the Hall of Fame. So without wasting any further time, wide receiver we'll start with Charles Woodson. He's number 6 on the all-time interceptions list with 65. Right below him, I believe, is Ed Reed with 64 interceptions. He played for the Raiders and the Packers, and he was drafted in '98. Ryan, you weren't even around yet, so you have no room to talk, man. But no, man. So not a big surprise. Charles Woodson. I remember him here and there playing for the Green Bay Packers, but very well deserved. Charles Woodson, a defensive back. Wide receiver Calvin Johnson. Again, he appeared on one of our video games early. I'm sure, I don't even know if he was into Madden then. Now, back then, I think it was 2008 or 9. I'm not too sure which Madden cover he appeared on, but I could not wait, especially on Thanksgiving. Remember how the Detroit Lions always used to play on Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
And I couldn't wait to see Calvin Johnson play in Detroit every Thanksgiving. Talk about hands like glue. I mean, he's the ultimate all around wide receiver. He's with the Detroit from '07 to 15. So a very well deserved wide receiver, Calvin Johnson, headed to the Hall. By the way, he holds the NFL record. I still think he does for most receiving yards in a season, and then most consecutive 100-yard receiving games with 8. So call me up if you ever see that record being broken anytime soon, because I don't know if it'll happen again.
Yeah. Nickname Megatron. I mean,
There you go, Megatron. That's right. What do they call it? The Motor City, I think, Detroit, Michigan.
That's right. Yeah.
That's right. All right. Drew Pearson was the next one announced tonight. Wide receiver for the Cowboys. He was a Super Bowl I know that made you smile. He was a wide receiver, even though you weren't around yet. He was a Super Bowl champion, I saw. And when head coach Tom Landry and the Cowboys beat the Broncos a long, long time ago, back before you and I were even born. But yeah, so Pearson racked up 7,822 yards during his storied career. So congratulations to Drew Pearson. Guard Alan Faneca. He played with the Steelers, the Jets, and the Cardinals. I was looking at some highlights when they announced that this guard was headed to the Hall. And Ray Lewis actually had some comments. Ray Lewis said that this guy was mainly with the Steelers. He was so dominant, quote unquote, and was able to jump up into the next level of defense in the blink of an eye, meaning he was in a split second, he was probably 5 yards up into that defense, off of the original line of scrimmage. And when you get a guard, man, they can push that hard and be able to open up holes for the quarterbacks or the running backs, if you will. Strong guard, Ryan Allen Faneca, again, before our time.
Yeah, and I bet he was a big part to that Steelers run where they won all those Super Bowls. Steelers have 6 Super Bowls in their franchise history, and when you have a guard like that, it's easy for those running backs like Franco Harris for the Steelers to really go down the field and escape through those big gaps that the offensive linemen give them.
We'll talk about the Steelers' 6 Super Bowl championships. Someone else that was associated with them 6 was Bill Nunn, and he was a scout for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Just briefly, I know we always talk about the players, the coaches, I don't know, who else do we talk about? The fans? No, I'm just kidding. We don't talk about the fans, I promise. But no, sometimes we don't realize all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes, if you will. The scouts, the traveling time people put in just to find that number 1 quarterback or just to find that number 1 running back. So respect to Bill Nunn. He was a 6-time Super Bowl champion as a scout for Pittsburgh. So that's very well deserved. When you see, and he wasn't even a player. I don't believe he was even a player. So when you see guys like this going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, I think that speaks volumes. And I think that's just as big as a player going in, if you ask me.
Yeah, a lot of behind the scenes work, and you really can't forget about these scouts. Like you said, you always think of the players, the head coaches, the GMs, but it could be that one player that they scout that nobody else knows about, that's under the radar, tells the team about them, they draft them, and it could be the franchise player for that franchise and that team.
Talk about scouts. I always like to envision them as people that can almost spell out the future or see the future. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They just have that special gift that not many people have. And I really do believe, I wouldn't say as far as literally seeing the future, but a superpower. I'm telling you, if you could have one superpower, I think the scouts already have that superpower, and that is seeing the future. I mean, talk about, you need to be really, really talented to see what kind of players that you have out there, and if you can develop them into a Super Bowl champion years to come.
Yeah, that's right. Just like Tom Brady, I believe he was picked in like the 7th round. So
That's a discussion for another time. We'll have to, yeah, because they have a whole segment out of that when he went to Michigan, and it was a title, the quarterback that nobody wanted. I
yeah,
could not believe how many teams skipped him, and now look, he's playing in his what? How many 10th? I think it's his 10th Super Bowl appearance tomorrow.
yeah, just incredible.
It's unbelievable how things can pan out. Moving on to the next Hall of Famer, and that was strong safety John Lynch. He's actually the current general manager for the 49ers. And that's I could not put a name or a face to the name rather, but then I looked him up and I figured yeah, Hall of Famer John Lynch now, strong safety, general manager, and he was with the Buccaneers from 93 to 2003. So Ryan, you have to believe that that he'll be rooting hard from his couch, I guess, tomorrow for Brady and the Bucks.
Yeah, and I remember watching Lynch on some highlight films and just remember him laying out the big hits on some wide receivers and running backs down the field. So John Lynch, I think he was really deserving of this Hall of Fame entry.
Very well deserved. Moving on to the second from the last one, and that was Tom Flores. He was a 3-time Super Bowl champion as a coach. Again, very well deserved. I think he was a head coach for. I think he won the Super Bowl with 3 different teams, if I'm not mistaken. I would have to look, but again, not too familiar with him. But Tom Flores, congratulations to him. A head coach goes to the Hall this year.
Yeah, and I think he was actually a player, an assistant coach,
A player and assistant coach.
and a head coach. So
And a head coach. Okay, so we have all he held different occupation, different titles. So congratulations to Flores. He was everywhere. So he'll find a new home. He will find a or his Hall of Fame bust rather will be in Canton many years. Um, and Ryan, last but not least, you know who it is. It's Peyton Manning.
yeah, that's right. We waited all night for it.
Waited all night for him. We already knew, man. Let me just I had to shout out to Mel on this one. Mel, if you're watching this, we love you and we miss you. Hope all is well. Mel, I actually grew up with Mel. She's a longtime friend of mine. She's kind of like a second mom. And Mel was such a huge fan of Peyton Manning. And I talked to her on the phone several times last year leading up to this moment because we all knew it was going to happen. I think Mel loved Peyton Manning so much, Ryan, where when he was with the Colts, Mel was a Colts fan, okay? But then he went to Denver, and I'll never forget this. I called Mel up one day and I said, "Hey Mel," I said, "How you doing?" She said, "Good." She says, "I'm out shopping." I said, "You're out shopping?" She goes, "Yeah." She goes, "I'm out shopping for a new Broncos jersey." And I thought to myself, well, Mel, I thought you've always been a Colts fan growing up. She said, "I followed Peyton Manning." I said, "Look, no disrespect. I'm not calling you a bandwagon. We're not going that far." But yeah, so Mel, I think Mel loved Peyton Manning more than she loves football and more than she loves any team. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Mel headed up there to Canton if they allow fans in Ohio for the ceremonies as they get enshrined in August. I wouldn't be surprised if Mel would be hopping on a plane and heading up north in August. But yeah, talk about Peyton Manning, Ryan. He comes in on the list, the NFL leaders. Peyton Manning career 71,940 passing yards. There's only 2 quarterbacks that are ahead of him, and that's Tom Brady and Drew Brees. But yeah, I've said it over and over. I mean, you can argue, Brett Favre, you can argue Drew Brees, but I would not hesitate. And I know some people would look at me like I'm crazy. I would not hesitate to possibly. We already said the greatest of all time. I wouldn't hesitate. I think I would stand my ground to put Peyton Manning right behind Tom Brady.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. I mean, Peyton Manning, the only player to win a Super Bowl with two different teams. Of course, Tom Brady can do that tomorrow. But Peyton Manning, one of the best quarterbacks and players to ever play. And the debate between him and Brady. I think most people would probably put Brady above him, but you could probably make the argument to put Peyton Manning slightly above him. But Manning to go to Denver and win that Super Bowl and ride out in the sunset like he did, just an incredible career for Peyton Manning, and really well deserving of his Hall of Fame entry, and his legacy will live on forever in Canton.
Forever. 40, quote unquote, David Baker says 40,000 years. So he already knows how long that bust will be up there.
Yeah.
All right, man. That'll do it. Also, hey, before we head out, I want to give a shout out to Tyler Pollard. I used to go to high school with him. He always used to trash talk me in different classes that I had with him. He's a huge Buccaneers fan. He always had been. And he said, "How about them Tampa Bay Bucks?" I thought Tyler. So Tyler was always gonna. If Tyler's watching this, hopefully he'll run into this. But I just wanted to shout out to him wherever he is out there and say hello to him, and hopefully he's doing well. And I'm happy for him that his Bucks are back in a Super Bowl. But Ryan, all right, I'm going to go ahead and head on to bed. I told you it's past my bedtime.
Yeah.
So, hey, join us, everybody. Join us on Monday as we react to the big game, Ryan and I, on Super Sunday. Again, we want to thank Dempsey's Grill in Middletown, Maryland, Sportsland, and High Chroma Studios. And as always, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and email us, listenupmaryland@gmail.com. We want to hear from you. We want to hear your reactions from Super Sunday, and we might just share your reactions on our next episode Monday night. So again, that's listenupmaryland@gmail.com. Go ahead and send us an email. And any request, just visit our website and submit your information, and we will do our best to respond to you all as quickly as we can. And Ryan, I know this is just the beginning of a long journey. We have summer trips planned this year associated with this show. Big giveaways. That's right. I said it, giveaways, gift cards. We're going to put some bets, if you will, on some games and see who comes out. And maybe you all have a chance to win a gift card. Some very well-respected and amazing people that are lined up for interviews on this show this year. And they will stick around with us and talk sports on the weekends, mainly on the weekends, all right here on Listen Up Maryland. So, Ryan, there's fun times that lie ahead, and definitely warmer weather that I've been looking forward to.
That's right. We got more snow coming. It looks like in this area this week. So I can't wait for the warm weather. And like you said, just the beginning of a journey around here at Listen Up Maryland. So we're looking forward to what's ahead for 2021, and we can't wait.
All right, Ryan. Hey, remember to be nice to one another, stop the hate. And no matter how big or small, any act of kindness can change a person's life. Y'all enjoy Super Sunday.